Hello, I am back and we'll talk about failures. And I'm going to expose myself and talk about my failures today. And failures is something not everyone talk about. And if they do talk about failures, they just like stay within the cycle and not really like I would say if people do talk about failures, sometimes they just complain and very rarely they're going to talk about how they went out of the got out of this. And the reason I'm going to talk about my failures is I think it can help. So recently I was depressed. I was wondering if it was sadness or depression. I figured out it was depression. I was going a very, very down route. And the reason I was depressed is because I have been dealing with failures over failures. And as I said before, social media, like no one's life's perfect. You can see me going out and do some stuff for people who follow me on social media, especially Instagram, but nothing's perfect. So I've been through failures and fights over fights. What people doesn't know is that I failed in the subject and I went for a course completion contract and I was doing exam up until the 24th of December. 24th of December, like Christmas Eve. And I had my roommates was so nice. They cooked dinner and they were like, "Oh, come have dinner." I'm like, "Oh, I have to work on the assignment." And we're like, "Eat and then go and do your assignments." And I still need to cook for them, by the way. So I had this, um, some personal stuff that I saw my exes come moving on as shitty as it could be. I'm very happy some of my friends are able to do it, and one of the regrets is that I have one of my friends who told me early summer, Emily, invest in Bitcoin. Invest in Bitcoin. I didn't do it because I was skeptical, and when I saw the price rising, I felt really bad because my dad mortgaged a house to for me to be able to come to school here, and I told myself if I had listened to my friend by now, my parents would be completely debt free and I would be paying for school. Fast forward, the subject I failed is a prerequisite for another subject this semester. So instead of being late for one subject, I've been late for two subjects now, which is additional fee because I'm an international student and an extension of visa, my visa as well. But these are failures, and what failures really are if it's not you not keeping your promises to yourself. And I'm someone who doesn't like to live with regrets, and lately I have been, and this is what brought me even down. Living in the past is not going to serve you, and worrying when there's solution is definitely not going to help because there's a solution, right? Rather work on the solution. A friend said something to me, so you'll see, like recently I went out in the snow for snowshoeing and all this stuff, and that was really cool. So I'm going to give you an advice that a friend gave me, and it was just on the spot. He's so goofy, but he's so intelligent. And um, one of the things I wanted to do is to live in the present moment. And if I don't do that this year, for me, it would be a failure. So I don't want to fail anymore. I know failure is part of a process, but if I can, like, um, the, undeniably it's part of a process. But if I can keep my promises to myself, that would be a really big success, right? Let's talk about success now. We're done with failures. So he, so we were talking about being in the moment, and then I don't know what he said. I didn't really. I was like all anxious and looking at the window of the car, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he was like, "Oh, yeah, you need to live in the present moment. And by the way, this is a present for you, and you can only open it now." And it's such a small thing, but it's stuck with me. Yeah, the present moment is a gift. It's a present, and you can open it only now. And this day was just like not a revelation, but it's like a reminder of being grateful of what's going on. I remember we have to go down because we went hiking, and I told him like I'm going to fall down because it's snowing, right? It's slippery. And then finally I did it, and I slipped and I fell on my bum, and I was like shouting while sliding, and I was like, "Oh, by the way, did you record it?" He was like, "No, sorry, I didn't want to tell you that because you were so happy and you were so in the moment." F videos, F moments. Yeah, it's good to get to have like to keep those moments. I do that on my story of Instagram, and after a year, I just review what happened and the good memories. But I think being in the moment is the most probable thing. And now that I know what are my failures, I've looked for solution. It's time to move on. And one other way of moving on is just looking for solution. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm still dealing with my solution, emailing back and forth, but just take the first action and trust me, I know it's not easy. Sometimes I'm in bed, like I don't shower, I don't brush my teeth. I'm just like in bed sleeping. But once you make that small step, just one small step, as little as I downloaded a template for new videos intro and I just did that just because. And I was like so happy and I was like, okay, you know what? I need to do that video and talk about my failures. It's just a step as small as it can be. It can be, for example, it can be as small as just brushing your teeth in the morning. It can be as small as smiling. Yes, wake up in the morning and smile. And now that you've done this, just jotting down things that you want to do. So one of the things I wanted to do is reply to my emails, which I didn't do. Um, Book an appointment, for example, with a counselor. Or another thing is that lately I've been very triggered by people's action and people's word. And I'm someone who normally doesn't give a so what I say to myself next time I'm going to talk to a person, or a person's going like to say something to me that's going to trigger me, I'm going to breathe and let it slip. I did it a couple of times and I'll be honest with you, it didn't work. But when I was just like, okay, I just want to do it, I took a step back and I did it. And I felt so proud of myself. And if it's so difficult for you to do it, another thing I started doing, listen to music that really pumps you up. So my music of the moment is Post Malone, Over Now. And you know, like the moment that you listen to a type of music and you feel like a fucking badass, listen to that music before you do any action, before like first thing when you wake up in the morning, or you know you're going to get into an argument with a person, listen to that music. It's going to make you feel good. It's going to make you to feel like a fucking badass. And then take a deep breath and go through your way. And yeah, I mentioned gratitude as well. So I know these are not very easy, but I was also concerned of not being able to put more content for students. But with that, I'm just realized that it's going to be easy. I went through the course completion contract, so I am able to give more advice in regards to that. I had to deal with landlord and rental issues, so I can give you I can give you advice in regards to that. And yeah, I know I had to put my some videos down in regards to grocery, and that's because of my previous landlord, but I'm going to do that upload that again, and with a few stuff that I didn't put, for example coupon or having free stuff. If needed, I'll make 2 videos in regards to it, and voila. So I hope this video was helpful to you. I'll try to kick myself and make and be more constant with it. But from now, this is what happened. This is about my failures. Um, I'm going to focus on success, and I hope my failures is able to make you feel a bit better about yourself, and especially encourage you to go and move forward. Next video. Bye.